Afternoon. Welcome to our concert. We're so pleased to see all of you here to the third of our concert series of the Virtuoso concerts as part of the One Heart Institute summer program. My name is Barbara Bogatin, and you could probably tell I'm a cellist, and very happy to be back for my third summer teaching here as part of the faculty. And when I'm not up in Ukiah for my day job and also my night job, I play with the San Francisco Symphony. But I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you. San Francisco Symphony fans, great. So I find this to be a really unique program. It's actually the only music program I know of that has as its core trying to integrate a mindful and holistic approach to well-being and also to music making. So every day our participants have classes in mindful movement with Tai Chi and yoga, and also in meditation. And we really endeavor to cultivate the skills of focused attention and staying present with our bodies and our breathing, and bring those into the practice room and onto the stage when we perform. We also look at the values of compassion and loving kindness in our interactions with each other, and also as a way to think of music as a kind of healing art, as a way to make the world a better place. So with that in mind, we invite you to listen with your full being to this concert, and to just enjoy allowing the music to take you wherever it wants to go. And we think a lot about making connections here, and the first couple of pieces on the program is actually a very good example of that, because the first two pieces we're going to play are two sarabandes, and they are connected over 300 years to each other. A sarabande is a dance form which actually had its origins in Africa and found its way to Europe in the 17th century and became one of the favorite dance forms for many of the Baroque composers, in particular Johann Sebastian Bach. And the first sarabande that I'm going to play is from one of his solo suites for unaccompanied cello, from the second suite in D minor. Now, a sarabande is generally a slow, stately dance in 3/4 time, which has an odd characteristic of having its accent generally on the second beat of the bar rather than what would normally be on the first beat of the bar. So, and also, especially for Bach, the sarabande was always the emotional core, the emotional heart of the piece that he was writing. And he wrote a sarabande in every one of his unaccompanied cello suites. And this is a good example of one that has a lot of emotional intensity. Then the second sarabande was written just a few years ago, so it was 300 years after Bach's sarabande, and yet it shares many of the same characteristics. A slow, stately dance in 3/4 time, often with the accent on the second beat, but it looks at this dance form through a 21st century lens. He writes it it's a Swedish composer, Anders Paulsson, and he writes it for soprano, saxophone, and cello as a duet. And really puts his own contemporary take on Bach's idea of a sarabande. So we are going to play the two of them as one interconnected whole, and we hope you enjoy these 300-year apart sarabandes.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you very much for coming to hear us. I am so honored to be a part of this wonderful festival here at One Heart. Just a few words about the next pieces you're about to hear, because you wouldn't know it, but it is the US premiere. It's the first time in the United States this has been played. The world premiere was 2 weeks ago in Japan, so you'll be hearing it for the first time here. The second work I'm doing after the set of three, they're very short works in the form of sketches. So in the true romantic sense, you'll hear tunes that are reminiscent of the Fireplace Suite by MacDowell. This American sound. It is by American composer Louis Kobo. Like Schumann, sketches were acceptable forms of being. You didn't need to have a theme, a big theme going somewhere, developing, and then coming back home. They were just thoughts, and in thoughts alone, they had their value, they had their place. It's just a moment, and then another moment after that. The piece after that, the Ballade on your program, is by Chopin. It's by Frédéric Chopin. I know it says it's by Louis, but this one is a traditional work where it does have a story, it has a big arc. It is known that it is inspired by a poem by Mickiewicz called Ondine, but no one can find this poem. We do know that Ondine is like a water siren. She is an evil sprite. She lives in the lake, and she lures people into the lake by seducing them and then into their drowning. But I don't really hear that in this work. The Ballade, definitely you can hear the trots of a horse. It sounds like there are like three distinct places where people are going on a journey on a horse, and they all have their own separate adventures. Is that enough to get us started?
Okay, we'll give them some time. I'll talk. I need to talk anyway because I want to thank each and all of you. I guess this is a good timing. First, thank you so much for being here. Some of you I've been singing for the past 3 days. Some of you I've been singing for the past 1, 2, 3 years. And maybe some of you, this is your first time here. I hope you're enjoying it. It's been amazing already, hasn't it been? Yeah, I think so. It's really been a very touching and moving experience for me, witnessing the whole process. The musician has been with us, the professional musicians, the participants, the students. We're a very intergenerational musical community. We've been spending today 8 days together. I witnessed so much hard work, dedication, sincerity, love for music and life, and they really play with no strings attached. They do it for the love of music, and they do it to give us as a service and a gift. I think my heart really feels it. I believe yours do too. I will actually, for the past 2 days, I haven't had a chance to really introduce the musicians who's been participating in the Virtuoso concert series the past 3 days. So I will say a word about each of them. So this year we have 9 musicians performing in the series. First, you heard Barbara. Barbara is a cellist with the San Francisco Symphony, and you also heard Wenbo. He's my husband and also director of the jazz band and symphonic wind band at Mendocino College. And you heard Tamami. She's a concert pianist from the Bay Area, also performs internationally, and she teaches at the Stanford University and also Santa Clara University. And some of you have heard, here pianist Elio Villafranca too. He's a pianist based in New York City, also a Steinway artist, and teach at Juilliard School of Music, Princeton University, Manhattan School of Music, and we also had, the first night we have 4, in addition to Wenbo, we have 3 more saxophonists. You will hear again today Dr. Kendra Wheeler. She's a professor at Louisiana State, and Jonathan Hogan, also a saxophonist and a professor in the East Coast. And the other female saxophonist was Carrie Kaufman. She's a professor at the University of Hartford. And we also have Alice DeGrassi, who's been a founding member of the One Heart Institute. And you will hear, he wrote a song for the One Heart, and we will hear as a finale piece. It's called Song for One Heart. So many musicians will play as an ensemble piece. And and today we're also very honored to have Spencer Brewer joining us later. Again, thank you so much for being here. And I also take they're ready now, so I'll be really quick. I feel, rushed. So I do want to thank the community very much, including organizations such as the Ukiah Daily Journal, the KZYX radio station, Black Oak Coffee. And we have a wonderful, beautiful group of community members who've been working and also volunteering with us. That includes Chef April Cunningham and her team of 14 volunteers. Yes, some of you are here today. It's been beautiful. And I also Spencer's in back. I wanted to say it before his piece, but I'll say it now. That I really thank you, Spencer. I know you hear me. This is Spencer's personal concert grant that he keeps at home, and he's donating this to us for this week and the event because he truly believes in what we do. So we're really fortunate to have this concert grant here, and I want to thank. Actually, you're here today. Larry and Maggie, is that right? Larry and Maggie Falk, you are here today to actually be the benefactors to make the moving of the piano possible, and including other individuals such as Mary Gilbert and a few other donors who really contributed. Thank you so much, and thank you so much. It's really a very special experience to be together, be present with the music, and share the moments together. Thank you again. I hope you enjoy the rest of the concert. Thank you.
Yeah, and so for this piece, the trio piece, is actually by David Salleras, instead of the name listed on the program, but just that's like minor detail change. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, hi. I'll say just a few quick words about the next two things that I'll be playing. The first piece is called Romance by Amy Beach, and she wrote this in 1893, and this is an arrangement for saxophone. So it was originally written for violin and piano, and saxophone was only created in the 1840s, so we were about 40 years young when she wrote this piece for violin and piano. However, we tend to steal a lot of repertoire from our string players because it's not only gorgeous and beautiful, but it teaches us a lot. The saxophone's a melodic instrument, mostly known as a jazz instrument, but started by our creator, Adolphe Sax, who also created the bass clarinet, as a bridge between woodwind and brass instruments, and really actually for military bands. We were a band instrument initially, with a little bit of hope of being an orchestra. Didn't quite work out sometimes, but so this is a little bit acrobatic for us in some ways. It's very beautiful in melody and rich in harmony. A little bit different on the saxophone, so if you are a string player anywhere in the building, be gentle on me. But this is Romance by Amy Beach. Oh, sorry. And the next piece after this that I'll be playing with Elio is a spiritual that was arranged by Florence Price called O Holy Land.
This is only the third time this piano has ever been out of the studio. And it's a real treat to play on this piano in this room. If you get a chance afterwards, you may want to come look at it because there's maybe 100 signatures on the plate from all the people that have recorded their albums on this piano in the studio. So it's very sweet. We've been lucky that the players here have also signed it. So that's very sweet. The first piece we're going to play is Quintessence, song that I wrote for full symphony, and we played it, Wenbo and I. These three choices are his today. this last week, Wenbo was honored as the Mendocino County Arts Champion Award. All the work you do, you help a lot of people here in this county. It's very special. You and Sophie are here.
Thank you for the support.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
This last year, my wife and I lost our only son, and Wenbo and Sophie asked me to play this year. And I couldn't play music, nor could I listen to it for a long time. And slowly I was sat at this piano, and I started thinking about him and our life together. And the thing is that we don't know how he died. We will never know. So that creates a mystery. In the last couple of years of his life, he was quite compromised health-wise. And so what you'll hear is just a normal chord, but you'll also hear the tension, because we'll always have answers. And that creates the tension of what happens when we lose someone, you know, and what we're left with. And then the music will turn into memories of him as a child, and that we had good times together, and we'll go back to that. And so this is the song that I wrote and played at his memorial called Farewell, My Son. few, but I've never written one. This is like a funny, slow, I don't say slow, medium ragtime. Once again, these are his choices. We're working on enough songs together to where we can play an entire concert together. Very close, very close. This is called Tater Tots.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Elio Villafranca. I am a pianist from Cuba. And it's been really a pleasure being here and sharing music with all these amazing musicians and amazing community. It's my first time in this Ukiah, right? I've been pronouncing it incorrectly for the past. I mean, I learned how to pronounce it correctly here because I called a friend of mine from San Francisco and said, I'm in Ukiah. And he was like, where? I'm in Ukiah. And then, like, how you spell it? And then he started cracking, like laughing. It's like, Ukiah. We're gonna play 3 pieces for you. And the first one is entitled Song for Freedom. I am actually big in community. I like the idea of community, and it seems like there's a beautiful community here in Ukiah, and I'm gonna put it to the test. Okay? The test is very simple. You guys are gonna be my rhythm section. You're gonna be my drums. Is that okay? Yeah. And it's something very simple for you guys to do, and we're gonna play on top of you. And just don't overwhelm also the music. Just be quiet. That's one thing, right? Community, right? We all also be part of the community. Okay, here we go. Song for Freedom. Goes like this. Thank you. Thank you. The next piece we're gonna play is entitled Winter. This is a part of the 4-series piece or suite that I wrote called the 4 Seasons, inspired by Vivaldi's 4 Seasons. And this is one of the seasons, which is winter. And I guess when I wrote this one, when I was doing the writing the music, I was just always, because I didn't really experience winter in Cuba. Cuba is always hot. So being in America, and especially in New York, when it gets very cold, winter is a place of almost like insulation, right? Everybody just stays at home. At least me, I stay at home. and it has like this kind of dark mellow color, if you will. And I was trying to put this into music, and this state of slow snowing, falling, and the gray tone, and combined with the white tone of all the snow. If you go to the park when it's snowing, at least for me in New York City, it's always very beautiful to see the combination of like no leaves and then everything is gray and then the white on top. It's a really beautiful thing. It's magical. Although I don't like it, but it's magical. This is winter. Thank you. And coincidentally, my mother's last name is also Winter. It's very interesting. Which requires a really big imagination on my great grandparents, because to have a last name of Winter in a place that we don't have winter, that's kind of like requires a lot of wish or imagination. The last piece that we're gonna play is entitled New Loro. Loro is the name for in Spanish for parrot. It's a bird. And as you know, we all know, birds like to talk a lot, right? Like the parrot like to talk a lot and always responding and connecting. And this piece is kind of like my way of reenacting a parrot musically. And it's called the New Loro. Wenbo.
Well, thank you for being here. We're getting the whole crew out here for this last piece. And we needed one piece that we could get pretty much everybody playing on. So I wrote this piece. It's kind of in a gospel form. It's really kind of a gospel piece. And so we've got everybody here, except Spencer. We were trying to figure out if we could get a third person. Anyway, this is called A Song for One Heart.